Shalom, shalom, giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakakwadash. Double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutes to the 144,000 elect men. Alright, I'm coming back at you with another lesson up here. Out here in my Hilangoli, walk and talk. Just gonna let the breeze blow and let the spirit flow. There's a little boulder over there. Let me see if I can stand up there for a little while and roll out some precepts up. Roll out what the spirit gives me right here. This little boulder over here. I like to really keep moving actually, but let me see if I can stand up here for 2 minutes. Yeah, man. No, I don't like the look of that. It's a bit muddy over there, a little bit muddy. Even though I got the right tires on, I want to walk around and just, you know, go in the spirit. So yes, man. Just been reflecting on how everything, according to its kind, joined together. When you really just see that in the spirit, everything comes together, man, in the spirit of the Lord. Birds of a feather well and truly do flock together. And the Most High is gathering his people now, his elect men. That's Wisdom of Solomon 5. Wisdom of Solomon 5, Ezekiel 37. Dry bones. He breathed on those dry bones and they stood up like an army. And Revelations 11 and 11. The two prophets, they also stood up and started breathing that fire. So yeah, man, that's the elect, potential, the hopeful elect. We want to be in that number. We're going to be bringing this thing on home. And we can see the separation that's taking place in the earth, around the globe. You know, you got all the other two-thirds of our own people. They all flock together in the music industry. They join they envy the oppressor. The scriptures talk about that. Do not envy the oppressor or choose any of his ways. Proverbs 30. Is that Proverbs? Let's get into the precepts quickly, as quick as possible. Get into some of these precepts to remind me, because we're doing this video for the operators are for the edification of the church. They serve as good reminders. We are not of this world, man. We are not of this world, and we're not liked of this world. So we don't flock together with these other nations. Let's hit that precept, man. Going in some of these precepts, getting some of the dust of some of these precepts, man. Proverbs chapters 3 and 31 says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Yeah, so we, you know, birds of a feather flock together. For those that are joined with the heathen, though hand go join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. We don't join hand with them, man. We don't like them. They don't like we. Yahushua spoke about that. We're not of this world. So envy not the oppressor. But for those that are going to join hand in hand with them, that's they're of like minds. They are with them. They are with them. They're joint with them. They love this world. They love this world. The scriptures spoke about that too. Jeremiah 10 and 2 says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen. Right, we are instructed not to learn the ways of the heathen, man. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heavens are dismayed at them. For the heathens are dismayed at them. We're well aware of what time we're living in when we see the chariots in the sky, the signs in the heavens, the weathers, the seasons, the nations rising up against nations, earthquakes, tornadoes, fire-nados, earth There's the earth tornadoes, quake tornadoes, or something. There's a new one now. There's a new one added to the list. Quake nados, fire nados, and that's all the signs that Yahushua spoke about when you know that his presence is near. He spoke about those things. And new ones all the time. Sinkholes, people yards just mashing up and falling to pieces, which I've done a video on that earlier on in the year. Houses just cracking and falling to pieces, not built on steady ground. That's because the foolish people, people of this world, built their houses upon the sand. That's this world. Place all their trust in this world, and that's what will happen to you. Remember the old Jack and Norris story, the three little pigs. The three little pigs. The one built his house upon made out of straw, the other made out of stick, and the other made out of bricks. So when the wolf came, it blew the straw house down, the stick house down, and the brick house, he couldn't blow it down, if I remember that old Jack and Norris story correctly. Because he was wise. He was the wise, the three little pigs. The wise pig built his house in the concrete with strong foundations. Goes right back to the scriptures, man. What Yahushua spoke about, building our houses upon the rock. So when the wind blows and the storm comes, it stays firm, it stands firm. So we want to be like-minded. Birds of a feather do flock together. I'm going to entitle this video something to that effect. We know that. So that's why we don't envy the oppressor. Yeah. Thus saith the Lord, Jeremiah 10:2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Right? That's all these nasty ways, the abominable foods, and all the rituals that they take part in. When you become a part of this system, a part of his abominable system, the rituals in the music industry, and any form of politics that you get involved in, they'll do all of that. The pedo, they take part in the pedo rituals, all the rituals. Because we're separate from this world. We're not like them. We don't like them. They don't like we, and we don't like them, as the song goes. I'm not gonna sing it, but them not like we, and we not like them, and that's all right. We're all right with that. So we learn not the way of the heathens. We don't like the way of the heathens. The wicked people, them. Yeah, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heavens are dismayed at them. The heavens are dismayed at them. The heathens are dismayed at them. When we see the chariots, we know that's our big brothers watching over us, guiding over us, the angels of the Lord. Psalms 34:7. Watching over us, man. And you've been protected. You know, you've been delivered. No doubt. All the elect have been delivered knowingly from situations, and unknowingly, because your big brothers are watching over you. Psalms 91 says that your foot won't even you won't even buck your toe. The men you might say, mind you buck your toe. Yeah, your foot won't even buck your toe. Your foot won't even slip when the angels are watching over you. They're guiding over us, so we don't even buck our toe. We don't even slip. You know, they guide our every step, unbeknown to you, or maybe be known to you. So we don't like these heathens. We learn none of their ways, choose none of his ways. Envy not the oppressor. Go read that one again. Proverbs 3:31. Envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Right? No hand join in hand. The wicked shall not go unpunished. And we ain't going to save them. And we don't want to save them. You know? Despite what some of our own people are saying in some of these other camps, how the E's can be saved, they ain't going to be saved. The ones that are going to be saved are some of the elite of them, to be bound up and put in chains and to do their work, to pay their burden, to pay out their debts, what they owe to us. Yeah, they might be saved for that reason, that purpose, and that purpose only. To pay their debts to us, to society, when we're the real society. Right? The elect men of the Lord. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai and his 144,000 elect. You're going to pay off your debts to us, because you're in debt. You're in massive debt to us. So we're not learning none of these wicked ways of the heathens. That's the title of this video. Birds of a feather do flock together. And you can see that by just being, you know, observant. You know, you got all these crackheads, right? It's the only way to put it. These crackheads and some Jake all together, all walking up and down like zombies, all joining together, thinking about what they're gonna do to get their next hit, how they're gonna get their next hit, planning up all kinds of schemes. We see them, man. We're gonna be the ones, the elect men, 144,000, gonna have to go against them and pick them off and be deleting them. These are of this world. These people are of this world, man. As a matter of fact, a precept just come to mind. Let me get that. John chapter 15 and 18 says, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. This is Yahushua speaking in red letters. Yeah, disciples, right, he's relating to his disciples, Yahushua. Now 19, if you were of the world would love his own, but because you are not of the world, right, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. You know, it says it there, plain and simple. You know, it explains itself. Because we're not of this world, that's why we're hated of this world. And we knew we wasn't part of this world. Some of us from very, very young, we knew. We just knew in the spirit, man. We felt different. In a good way, we felt different, and we didn't want to feel like these people. Especially when you became more and more cognitive of what they were into. You may have tried it and you said, nah, definitely not for me. You know, I ain't going to go and get into all of that, but we know we're separate, we're different from these people. Right? John 17 and 15 says, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world. Let's go to 14. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world. Right. Even as I am not of the world. This is Yahushua once again explaining it, making it plain upon tables. They're not of the world. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. Yeah, that's why you have chariots watching over you, guiding over you, protecting you, teaching you. The scriptures talk about the spirit you shall recall the spirit coming back to mind, the comforter, teaching you of the things of the spirit, and guiding you and protecting you. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them, though thy truth, thy word is truth. Sanctify them through thy truth, thy word is truth. Because we love truth, and these people don't love truth. They're haters of the truth. That's why they all flock together, and we flock together. That great crowd. You know, we talk about the 144,000 elect men, but you also got the great crowd, the rest of the elect too. They're part of the that flock. John chapters 10 and 16, man. Those that hear Yahushua's voice shall listen to him. By no means will they hear strangers or obey strangers or hearken unto the strangers, just like sheep. No any old Tom, Dick and Harry can go and stand up in a farm of sheep and call them. They won't respond. They only respond to their shepherd. You know, that's literal. Or no strange dog can come and guide them away. Yeah? It has to be a special type of dog, a trained dog that's familiar with the sheep dogs. So it's literal, and it's also spiritual. Let's hit this one in Sirach 13. It's going to be a quick video, just making the point and putting that vibration out there, because we don't join with wicked people. We don't like them. We don't relate to them. They don't relate to us. We can't spend too much time with them either, because Can two walk together unless they agree? That's in Amos. So Sirach 13. Sirach 13 and 15 says, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to its kind, and man will cleave to his like. That's right, man. You know, that's why we don't join up with other people who are not in GMS. We don't agree. We can't walk together. Can two walk together unless they agree? Well, definitely not. It explains it. I'm going to read a couple of these verses. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? None whatsoever. In bold letters, in a question mark there. That's a question. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the ungodly. So the sinner with the godly. No. Nothing in common whatsoever. Nothing in common whatsoever. And that's the question there. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly. Can't agree. Like oil and water. Will never mix. Yeah? What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? The hyena is actually, it looks like a dog, but it's actually from the cat family, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might be from the dog family. The last time I think it was from the cat family. So they're not cousins or related in any kind of way. Whereas you've got all the other cats, the lion, the cheetah, the cougar, the lynx, the pussycat, the domesticated pussycat, the leopard, the black leopard, they're all related. They have that in common, that they're all they're from the cat family. Whereas the actual hyena is actually from another breed of form of kind of a dog, or form of kind of a cat. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check that one back. But I think they're from they actually might be from the cat family, the hyenas. But I'm gonna have to check back on that. That was what I did do research on it, but I'm gonna double check again. But yeah, they don't have nothing in common. The hyena and a dog, and what beast between the rich and the poor? I'll read that again. What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog, and what peace between the rich and the poor? The rich despise the poor. They look down on the poor, and the poor is looking to supplant the rich. Yeah, they definitely are. They despise the rich. The rich despise the poor despise the rich, because they got everything, and they come across like they got a silver spoon in their mouth. So they have nothing in common. Yeah, rich man beginning it to. So that's it. Yeah, as the proud hate humility, so doth the rich adore the poor. As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor. That's all I wanted to bring out on that. Birds of a feather, and it's a perfect example there, do flock together. Yahushua spoke about how they hate us, they hate him, so they're going to hate us. So this is all I needed to bring out. The point is made, man. Birds of a feather do flock together. Yeah, and you got the house of David, and you got the house of Saul. They have nothing in common, just like we just looked at those examples. They repel each other. One loves truths, the other loves lie and deceit, and love to supplant. Whereas the house of David is all about the truth, and that's the 144,000 elect men and the rest of the elect. And then you got the elders and the apostles on down, and their elders and apostles. So they don't have nothing in common, man. Yeah. Now, when we feel our presence coming, when we feel their presence around us, very discreetly, we know there's something ain't right, man. Proverbs chapter 14 and 7 says, "Go from the presence of the foolish man." Yeah, that's what we do in the spirit. We go away from the presence of the foolish man. They repel us, we repel them, because we have nothing in common with them. Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceive not in him the lips of knowledge. Right, so we flee from them, man. Go from the presence of a foolish man. And there's other script precept says, flee from sin. flee from sin as it is a disease, which it is a form of disease. It's a sickness. In the kingdom, we ain't going to suffer from that disease, sin. We're going to be free from it. So we're encouraged to flee from sin and sinners and the presence of fools. Yeah? Go from the presence of the foolish man when thou perceiveth not in him the lips of knowledge. Yeah, and that's what wise man King David had to do, because he was being pursued. I mentioned it one of my videos, previous videos, yesterday I think it was, how he was pursued by the wicked man Saul, who was once a wise man. King David was pursued by the wicked King Saul. When the spirit was taken of him, he started to act out a character and tried to pin King David to the wall with spears more than once. He started to act out a character and be so very unpredictable. So likewise, lessons learned. He handed down that wisdom to us. Flee from the presence of a fool. Go from the presence of the foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. You know, do I need I say more? That perfect example of King David and the wicked man King Saul. Proverbs 22 and 3 says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. The prudent man, the wise man, the man who is cognitive of what's going on around him, says he what? He foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. That's a perfect example. I just mentioned King David and King Saul. He had to hide himself, going up into places hard to approach in the mountains for years, because he was pursued by that wicked man Saul, who from a wise king turned to a fool, a foolish man. But he abided his time, and Saul ended up falling on his sword anyway. So King David was wise enough to flee from him, stay away from him. Yeah? Because that's what prudent men do, that's what wise men, men of the Lord do. Because they foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And there was a whole heap of other men who were followers of Saul. They had a similar outcome when he fell upon his sword. They had no more king. He had thousands and thousands of followers. Same's going to happen to these scriptures talk about false prophets. Same's going to happen to them. That's going to be their future too. They're going to end up being deleted one way or another. Either they're going to fall upon their own soul, they're going to wear out, tire out, and the Most High take the spirit off them. They're going to go take that MOTB, the Jacob trouble going to get them, famine of the word, or literal famine might get them. They're going to get caught up in all the plagues, the pandemics, and the plagues, 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, they're going to flee from a lion, and a bear might get them. Flee from a bear, and a scorpion might catch them. Lean up on the wall, and a snake might bite them. That's in Amos. One way or another, the Most High going to get them. Yeah, just like he got King Saul and all the wicked, unfaithful followers of King Saul. The house of David is getting stronger, but the house of Saul shall wax weaker and weaker. That's the outcome for all those foolish men. So we flee from all such like men. Yeah? But the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. But the simple pass on and are punished. They're going to take the MOTB. The simple. Those that are not in the truth and not about the truth, 100% truth. Right? And if there's any in GMS that are not about the 100% truth, they're going to have to be they're going to have to be kicked out. There is a refining taking place. There is definitely a refining taking place, a purging taking place. Abu Ratazar, we're of those men, man, the house of David, and of the 144,000, or the great crowd. So we pray about that consistently. Pray, beseech Jehovah Shemel Shai that we're of that number, and we want to be of that number, man. Because birds of a feather do flock together. You just have to see that taking place more and more and more and more when your eyes are open. The crackheads be with crackheads. Rich love to be around the rich. The supplanters are always around the supplanters. The false teachers and the false prophets are all together, deceiving and falsifying. Birds of a feather do flock together. And we looked at that in Sirach chapters 13. So we could end with this one, just to end off. As we mentioned about, we're not envying the oppressor, and envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Because birds of a feather will envy the oppressor and flock together and join hand with the oppressor. Because their attitude is if you can't beat them, join them. So they sell out. They literally sell their souls to the oppressor, the devil. And there's so much examples of it in that. In the music business, in the Hollywood acting business. The list goes on how they sold their soul to the devil. So we don't envy the oppressor, yeah? Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, right? And we don't learn, we hate them, the wicked, their ways. And when Yahushua come back, just to make that clear, you're going to take care of business, man, of our oppressors. And we are waiting upon the Lord. Just to put that out there, Zephaniah chapter 3 and 8. Wait thee upon me till I rise up to the place. So that's that, till I rise up to the prey. So we're putting that disclaimer out there. We're waiting on the Lord. He's going to take care of it when he returns. And he's going to bring healing in his wings to his elect men. Right? So we learn not the ways of the oppressor, and we choose none of his ways, yeah? And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them. Yeah, they're dismayed and they're getting twist up and bent up and broke up right now. Like I mentioned, those signs of the heavens, all the different seasons that's hitting them, the tornadoes, the fire nados, the earth nados, the floods, the flash floods over there in New York right now. There's flash floods over there in New York. Brother mentioned we've got to pray for our elders and apostles over there in New York who live around that area when these things start to take place. Right? It's all about the faith and being of that number. Abba Ratazar. We keep praying to the Lord for protection when these things start to really pop off. It's just the beginning right now. It's just the little appetizers taking place, yeah? So we're going to end with this one. Proverbs 13 and 20 says, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise. Our leader, our teachers, elders and apostles, Yahweh and Yahushua, and all those great men that he speaks about in Sirach 44. Sirach 44, and also in the book of Maccabees, chapters 1 and 2. Those great men, that King David, Yahweh, Joseph, those faithful men mentioned in Hebrews 11, Moses and all such alike, Samson, and some faithful women too, you know. So we learn from those examples, man. He that walketh with wise people. How do we do that? Walk with wise people. They're not with us, they're not holding our hands. Read about them. Read about them, study about them, learn about them. They're the role models. They're the blueprints to follow. And Yahushua, prime example there. So we walk with them. That's our teacher. Our spiritual teachers, our spiritual fathers, and our guides and protectors. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. A companion of fools shall be destroyed. The house of David is waxing stronger and stronger. The house of Saul is waxing weaker and weaker. So he that walketh with wise people shall be wise, man. Giving our praises to Yahshua B'Shem Kakodash to put the spirit on me to do this video. So we want to walk with wise people and envy not the oppressor. No hand join in hand with the oppressor. The wicked shall not go unpunished. Kala Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua put the spirit on me to do this video. Birds of a feather do definitely flock together. But the house of Saul is getting weaker and weaker. The house of David is waxing stronger and stronger. Shalom to all the sincere Akim. Birds of a feather that definitely do flock together. That was on my mind, that was on my spirit. I put the energy and the vibration out there. Because, yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the end, man. Shalom is on to the next. Birds of a feather do flock together. The house of David is waxing stronger, and the house of Saul is waxing weaker and weaker.